Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be going over the 5 best combos in Dota right now. These are combos that are not only good in the laning stage, but are also good in the game. I would say some of them I really did tailor to just being the laning stage, and some are better in the mid to late game. But without further ado, let's talk about some of the best Dota combos in the game. So when you see your support is drafted, you can pick a core to synergize, or if you're a support player, you can suggest better picks. Alright, before we get into the main part of the video, I do want to let you guys know that I'm not only posting videos here on YouTube, I also frequently post videos on the website. If you don't know what I'm talking about, almost every single day I'm posting a new video to the gameleap website. We're going to teach you guys in depth about how to get to the next level. So if you want to become absolutely broken, click the link down below and sign up. So the first combo of the video is Faceless Void Wyvern. Faceless Void Wyvern is mostly a laning combo, as the mid to late game synergy is a little bit clunky and relies on the Wyvern being a very consistent and good player. So I would be a little careful about this combo if you don't have a good Wyvern player. The reason why I say that is Chrono plus Winter's Curse obviously has a lot of anti-synergy, but I do like this lane and combo in general. And you might be like, why? If there's no synergy in the mid to late game, right, if the ultis just stack on top of each other, I don't understand how this could possibly be good. But the reality is, Wyvern ulti likes being followed up by AoE stuns, right? A lot of the time, if you see Wyvern, pro teams will like picking heroes like Nyx, or Sand King back in the day, of course. These heroes are less popular now, but there's a lot of combos like this. It can even be something like Wind Ranger, who can then easily line up a Shackle Shot, a classic combo, as well as Monkey King, because he can build up Jingu during the Winter's Curse and then follow up with Wukong's command into Boundless Strike. There's a lot of synergy there. So yeah, the same thing kind of applies with the Winter's Curse and Faceless Void with Chrono. As long as you understand that order, your mid to late game will be pretty good. The reason why I like this combo is because of how the heroes enable each other. In the laning stage, Faceless Void is a pretty resilient hero. With good base stats and time walk, as well as time dilation, it's very good at keeping itself alive and just playing for CS. And Wyvern likes carries that can stay alive and play for CS. As long as Wyvern skills up his Q at level 1 to trade and harass, and then the heal at level 2 to make sure the Void is topped off and A-OK, the lane will feel very nice. You're not going to dominate. Obviously, there is potential to hit time dilation into Arctic Burn and actually get kills, but for the most part, this is a combo just to sustain and get into the mid game. And then when we're talking about the mid game, you just have some of the best team fighting in Dota. You have great team fighting for 2 reasons. Number 1, because both the heroes just naturally have AoE spells, but also because Wyvern buys Mage Slayer and Faceless Void uses time dilation. I think these abilities combined together make most spellcasters just completely unable to play the game, and I think you could use also the combo of like Faceless Void plus Ember Spirit or Faceless Void plus Hoodwink with Mage Slayer. These are some of the more popular Mage Slayer heroes, but I like the Wyvern. The Wyvern's also very consistent follow-up to Chrono with Arctic Burn. It is a lot of damage. All you do is hit the person that Faceless Void isn't hitting, and it's great follow-up. So a nice, clean combo that scales into the game, and both heroes enable the weird but defensive gameplay that both heroes enjoy. Alright, getting to the second combo, we have Techie's Abaddon. I'm a big fan of this combo because the heroes kind of balance each other out. The only thing I will say is Techie's Shard does give him a save, but other than that, Techie's is an all-aggressive go in and get kills hero. Abaddon, on the other hand, sort of is that because he runs in with his ulti, and obviously his shield allows him to run in too, but it's also somewhat of a save hero, and so these heroes do different things and enable different playstyles. I will say that I think in the mid game these heroes lack synergy, right? It's not like when Abaddon's running in and hitting people, he's setting up the spells of Techie's. Yeah, there is a slow, and in the laning stage that's the key, but in the mid game, Techie's generally wants a stun for blast off and bombs. Abaddon won't really provide that, but Orb of Corrosion plus Curse Slow is okay. It's alright. But in the laning stage, what I really like about this combo is how strong it actually is. I think the main way to do well against Abaddon is to have long-range heroes that trade well, but I think Techie's cancels out the majority of these heroes. Because his base stats, base armor, base attack range, and Sticky Bomb are all such good trading spells early on, it's very hard to beat Techie's one-on-one, and this enables Abaddon to play aggressive, play in the lane, and not have to use shield in very defensive ways. If Abaddon in the laning stage can click shield, run it to the range creep, get aggressive on the carry, he's going to feel really good and very dominant due to his base stats and the fact that shield is essentially a 240 damage nuke, considering it absorbs 120 damage and then does that same damage outward in an AoE. So this lane is just obscene aggression. And then from there, as the game progresses, Abaddon might want to get really aggressive on his Echo Saber or Mage Slayer timing, depending on the build you're going. Techie's a support that loves farming out waves and clearing waves, and I think Abaddon's biggest weakness as a core is pre-Manta, it's not the best wave clear. It's obviously not terrible, but compare it to a Mars or a Darkseer, it's pretty underwhelming, slow paced, and prevents Abaddon from connecting to kills. Techie's instead can fulfill that role, and the Abaddon, even without knowing it, will be enabled to join his team, make moves, and play the early game while Techie soaks up a little bit of farm and connects late. And so I like the combo in that regard. It's a great lane, the heroes work well in the mid game and how they play the map. Techies can even farm neutrals if Abaddon doesn't want to do it. Abaddon can farm neutrals if Techies doesn't want to do it and Techies wants to take the lane. You can kind of flip between what you want to do on these heroes. I think they're both very flexible and have a lot of synergy. And then yeah, Abaddon lacks a bit of burst damage. Techies kind of provides that. Okay, next up is a combo I just played against in ranked, and I was like, all right, this combo is very clearly good. It's good for a couple of reasons, and that's Phoenix Windranger. Windranger has been on the come up in the pro scene as of late, and the reason why is the hero's a flexible lane, right? It scales well, it's hard to beat in lane, hard to counterpick. There are some supports like Shadow Demon that give it a hard time, but I would say most cores you can play around it by getting to BKB. Or if they have like something you need to dispel, you go Manta, because you're a universal hero, so you like the stats. Basically, there's many ways to play Wind, so it's very, very hard to counterpick her. The reason why I like Phoenix is, in my opinion, this is, with Wyvern, probably the best scaling support in Dota right now. I mean, it always kind of is. Phoenix is just naturally a support that scales because it can farm. When it hits level 3, it can technically farm, but especially when it's level 7 with max spirits, you can just farm neutrals if the game slows down. And then with Egg, you have Teamfight. With Sunray, it's percentage-based damage, so you scale. The hero scales. The Shard scales. Refresher Orb with the Shard is 4 Sunrays. I'm not kidding. It's really ridiculous stuff, what you can do with this hero in the late game. So what does Windranger do? Why is Wind good with it? Well, Windranger's biggest weakness is early game teamfight, early game damage, early game control. The reason why is when she clicks Focus Fire, she's very vulnerable to getting, let's say, frostbitten or nuked or stunned, right? She doesn't like getting diffusal. So what does Phoenix do for Windranger here? Well, he goes in, right? He's gonna fly in, drop some Fire Spirits, click Egg, and take the attention away. And while he takes the attention, this is going to set up for very easy shackle shots as people stand still and hit the eggs. It's going to set up for easy power shots, and it's going to set up for space for her to focus fire. So I think there's a lot of synergy just with the fact that Phoenix is kind of this support that can play aggressive in the early game. Later on, he's going to sit back, use Sunray. Early game, it's okay to throw your life away. It's actually okay to get your egg broken in the early game if it sets up for a clean fight. I think a lot of people don't realize that, but that is the case for Phoenix. If your egg costing them team 2 heroes, you're taking that trade. And I think Phoenix plus Wind enables that. Now in the laning stage, what I really like is that Phoenix is bad at level 1. Why? Because he hurts himself with Fire Spirits and they don't do that much damage. They're not terrible, but they're not great. Also, 1 armor is 1 armor. 1 armor sucks. He has 1 armor. Phoenix has 1 armor. Windranger is so good at level 1, and Power Shot allows you to Power Shot the 4. If you're good, that's what you'll do, is carry Wind, and that enables Phoenix to outtrade the 4. Very simple. And then you won't get pressured because you're a high range hero with insane stats. And that's about it. You basically enable the Phoenix to get to level 3. And you might say, oh, that's not a big deal. It is a big deal because Phoenix level 3 is insane. And if you hit Phoenix level 3, you get a point in Shackle Shot or Power Shot slows now. If you hit a Power Shot, Phoenix will easily be able to track that person down with Fire Spirits, and trust me, it is not fun when you can't get away from a Phoenix who is level 3 with 4 Fire Spirits. It's miserable. So yeah, Teamfight enables the Wind enables the Phoenix to get off the ground. It works very, very well. All right, next combo is a minus armor combo, and that's Venge Alk. Part of the reason I like minus armor right now is there's very little mech or crimson. Some people are buying mech again, which is interesting. Maybe that's a trend that will make this combo fall off a bit. I've seen a bit of mech on support techies. That's been a very popular one. But there's no crimson. The only item that gives armor in an AoE that is actually very good right now is Vlad's. So I guess there's a bit of an argument against this combo for that reason, but it's not like Vlad's is insane. But Vlad's is good against minus armor comps because of the AoE armor. Right? But Venge Alk, why do I like this combo? Well, I think there's a lot of reasons. Number one, in the laning stage, Venge and Alk both want to kind of all in with their spells. They really want to get stuff done. If you click Wave of Terror, it's very hard to fight during the duration, and you can get very aggressive. And you have 2 stuns, so you can stun and stun during Wave of Terror and man up. Same thing with Acid Spray. If you can fight during the acid or fight when people are in the acid, they can't really fight back. And so double stun with Alk, and I would say double stun with Venge, works very well. For instance, I like Drow Venge. You click Wave of Terror, you slow them with Drow, it works out very well. I like Troll Venge, right? I like these disables plus Venge, because in my opinion, the problem with Venge sometimes is her low range causes her to not be able to chase with Wave of Terror. If your carry can enable that, which Alk can, Troll can, Drow can, it's very strong. So essentially you get each other through the lane because minus armor plus minus armor is very, very scary. You can even buy a Blightstone on the Venge, and heroes with high armor like a Meepo or a Bounty Hunter will actually still die to physical damage. It's pretty insane. And then in terms of the gameplay, I don't think there's anything too crazy. However, I think the weakness to Alk can be getting bursted. Alk naturally has a low HP pool. This is the big problem with the hero until later on into the game when you get a couple of items. Even then, like sometimes it could be 30 minutes into the game, Alk can have like top net worth and he'll still have like 1.8k HP, 2k HP. It's just not that high compared to a lot of heroes. And the reason why is his base stats are bad. That's how the hero is balanced. And Venge, Swap is very good with that. stuns for Alk. Alk is a hero that naturally gets kited. It's just the reality of Alk, which might seem weird because his E is a slow and his W is a stun, but it's just the fact that you don't really burst people. You don't have a crit or anything like that, or you don't have like Phantom Rush, you know what I mean? He just doesn't have these abilities that like your traditional hard carry has, or Blink from Mage. So he can get kited if he doesn't get that initial Blink stunt kill. And Venge really enables that. Alright, and finally the last combo of the video is easily one of my favorite Dota combos in the game, and that's Undying plus a ranged hero, but specifically we're going to be going for Troll Warlord here. I just think that Troll is very good in the current meta. I think that the hero with Mjolnir is very, very powerful. It has kind of shot up in the meta with the Mjolnir in the Shard build with often an Ag. For some reason there seems to be a lot to dispel nowadays. I don't know, maybe that's always the case, maybe Troll Ags is always good, but I don't know, it just really seems, every time I look at Troll I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty good Ags game. You can buy an Ags and the enemy team's gonna have a really hard time keeping themselves alive with their forces and Glimmer, mainly Glimmer, because Troll can just dispel it, and he can just save himself with melee axes, dispelling himself on a 4-second cooldown. It's pretty insane. So yeah, this build, really, really ridiculous. Mjolnir, in my opinion, one of the best items in Dota. I really believe that. I think Mjolnir's active is legit insane. I don't understand how this active isn't regarded as like broken. I think it is broken. I want to start regarding it as broken. Because to me, it does way too much damage. Just look at the numbers after a fight. You're going to be like, what in the world is this? What is this active? What is this item? Mjolnir's insane. But yeah, okay. Troll plus Undying. Why is it so good? Well, it's good because Undying and Troll win the lane. There's a lot of laning stage synergy. There's other synergy as well. I would say the main one is Roshan. Undying is very good at enabling Roshan because you can tank it with Tombstone and with Flesh Golem. And with Troll, you just need some damage. You need someone to stand in front. You don't want to get gone on. You don't want to get bursted because if you do that, if you get gone on, you're going to have to pop an early BKB or you're going to have to pop an early ult. And when that happens, you don't get a kill. You want to pop ulti when the fight has kind of broken out a little bit. You're standing next to someone who already has committed in. Maybe they've committed their BKB, maybe the mobility has been used, maybe a blink on an Animage has been used, maybe a Phantom Strike from a PA has been used, then you click BKB, then you click ulti. That's how you're going to get value from Troll. And so in team fights, Undying's going to run in, he's going to pop Tombstone, he's going to get people to commit on the Tombstone, get people to commit on him, kind of bait things out a little bit. And then when it comes to the Roshan, you're just tanking it, right? You're tanking it for the Troll. Troll does so much damage. It just enables it, right? It enables it. And then finally, the last thing is Grab Ally. It is very good. Right? The Grab Ally is incredible. The Shard with Undying allows you to save Troll so you can get off BKB ulti. And they actually recently buffed Undying Shard. A lot of people don't know that because the hero hasn't been super meta. You know, I think the hero is still very, very good. But basically, the Grab Ally only stuns for 2 seconds if they break the Tombstone, which is still kind of long, but at the end of the day, it might be the difference. Often it will be the difference between your Troll getting BKB ulti off. And what you can do is just use Tombstone on the Troll when he's full HP, which might seem insane, but basically, if you see that they're going to all in him, just put him in the Tombstone early so he doesn't have to panic BKB. And then when he comes out, the fight's going to be developed and he's going to get off a good ult. So yeah, I think there's a lot of synergy between these heroes. The lane is absolutely cancer. It's really hard to deal with. And that's going to be about all for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next one. But I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.